In August of 2014, the Mount Holly Mine's waste facility was suddenly collapsed, releasing wave after wave of toxic mine waste into the surrounding once pristine waters of British Columbia. This major dam failure happened even after the mine had passed several reviews during the planning and the operations of the mine. Did you know that the Pebble Partnership is still planning on doing the Pebble mine here in Alaska? They're conducting scientific research in their efforts to plan and engineer something that's going to win them the approval for some mining permits. I hope to give you some insight into what Pebble is claiming they're going to do in order to get those permits. But more importantly, I want to talk to you about how Pebble is making some really irresponsible claims towards environmental safety. Now, if you didn't know, mineral mining involves a toxic byproduct called tailings, and these are commonly stored behind large earthen structures called tailings dams. Now, these tailings are going to retain their hazard and their toxicity indefinitely, and there are plenty of statistics that are showing that really there is still a risk for high catastrophic failure, no matter how advanced your technology is during the planning stage. Now, according to the Association of State Dam Safety Officials, tailings dams will in fact retain their hazard in perpetuity. Now, in the future, Pebble is saying that they want to meet reclamation of the toxic site. This really ideal plan is saying that they're going to put a layer of topsoil and other environmental elements on top of the toxic site, and then they're going to wait any number of years for the water to reach safety standards. Now, the Red Dog Mine, also in Alaska, has a little bit more detail in the parameters for their closure of the mine. They are saying that they're going to have 7 to 15 workers treating over 1 billion gallons of toxic water for over $10 million in cost every year forever. And that's at least taking some responsibility for the future of the mine. Now, Pebble's corporate website is only claiming that they're going to do some monitoring for a minimum of 30 years after mine closure. Now, putting that aside, statistically speaking, Pebble simply cannot guarantee that they're going to come up with some plans that are going to safeguard the environment. Wise Uranium Project Online has found that there's been 101 major dam failures since 1961. Now, with every failure, mineral companies are making more effort to try and strive for that environmentally safe plan, and Pebble is no exception. They've already spent millions of dollars in research and development prior to even applying for permits. Now, Pebble is also saying that they're planning on mining 10.8 billion metric tons of ore from the earth, and 99% of that is going to become waste, and that is going to be covering 10 square miles of Alaska state land with toxic waste. Pebble is offering one of the largest metal mines in the world, but with it is going to be one of the largest collections of mineral toxic waste in the world. Now, Michael Davies, he is a renowned engineer who happens to be the vice president for AMEC, which is an engineering consultation firm for large projects such as Pebble. In 2002, he conducted a thorough case study of major dam failures and found that there's about 3,500 dams around the world, and right now there's an average of 2 to 5 failures per year. If you put those odds with the size of the Pebble project, then the probability for disaster becomes much larger, even if only in size. Now, all the dam failures in the past have encouraged technological advancements, and they show progress, but they're still largely unproven, and by no means are they fail-safe. Now, after further investigation in the Mount Holly mine failure, they found out that it was actually a result of poor planning. Even though the mine had passed plenty of permit regulations and those reviews during the planning and operations, they found, and they also stated that they were using the latest technological advancements at that time. It was still a hindsight. It could have been prevented if they had done the proper and thorough research that they were supposed to. Now, Pebble is arguing that they're going to be spending the time on this research. They're going to incorporate the latest technological advancements and the best practices, and they're going to have one of the most successful dams in the world. Now, besides that, they also have access to software that does some risk assessment for them, and they're really hoping to create one of the safest dams in the world. If all of that research is being done, you might be able to say that Pebbles should be able to predict any reason for failure before it happens and eradicate those reasons before construction even begins. But the scary part is Davy's case study had also revealed that all failures are a direct result from the planning, construction, and operations of a mine. He actually concluded that every single failure in the past 30 years has resulted in was entirely predictable in hindsight. He goes on to support that there are no unknown causes for the failure, and the technology and the knowledge that could have prevented those failures were all readily available as early as the planning stages. Now, mineral mining has fueled a timeless debate on whether it can truly coexist with a healthy, clean, safe environment. However, history, scientific studies, and statistics clearly indicate that Pebble can just not make any claims towards environmental safety in perpetuity. Now, regardless of how much planning or technology that they are claiming, it's simply not going to stay safe, and there's no way they can guarantee that. As E.B. White puts it, I am pessimistic about the human race because it is too ingenious for its own good. Our approach to nature is to beat it into submission. We would stand a better chance at survival if we accommodated ourselves to this planet and viewed it appreciatively instead of skeptically and dictatorially. Now, I would challenge you to question the Pebble project proposal and consider whether the potential legacy of disaster in the final frontier is really worth the risk. Thank you.